Think social media marketing is free? Well, think again. While platforms like Instagram and TikTok don't charge to join, social media advertising costs can add up fast. In this video, I'm going to share what social media marketing will cost you and how to budget for success. First, I want to talk about the average cost of social media marketing. Costs will depend on how you execute your campaign. Will you be doing it yourself? Are you planning on hiring a contractor or consultant? Are you looking to hire an in-house? Freelancers and agencies typically use three main pricing models. 1. The per month model. This is a retainer or subscription-based pricing. For small businesses or startups, hiring a freelance social media marketer can cost between $500 to $2,000 per month for a retainer, depending on what services you need. Social media marketing agencies typically start at $3,000 to $20,000 per month for a retainer, depending on the campaign scope and complexity. They can be a good solution for mid-sized companies with the budget in place, but aren't looking to hire an in-house team. 2. The per project model includes costs for specific projects or entire campaigns. Many professionals will be willing to discuss and fix an overall rate for the project, where the scope and timeline will be part of this pricing on a per project basis are likely to cost you between hundreds or thousands of dollars. 3. Lastly, the per hour model consists of charging based on an hourly rate, typically ranging from $50 to $300 per hour. So you'll need to consider which model is best for you. Talk to various agencies and get some estimates to figure out a pricing model that works well for you both. If you prefer to have an in-house team, then the costs will be more fixed, covering salaries, benefits, and overhead. And while the monthly budget might be higher, this option will provide dedicated focus from those team members. Now, there are a bunch of things that can impact how much you're gonna spend on social media marketing. But if we're gonna keep it simple, these are the 7 to keep top of mind. First is your business goals and what you need. What are you trying to do with your campaign? Are you looking to boost brand awareness, get more leads, build a community, drive traffic and sales? Well, whatever goal it is, this is going to influence the kind of strategy you need and the pricing too. Bigger goals usually mean more effort, more resources, and more spending. Second is your industry. Some industries are just more competitive and specialized than others. If you're in a niche like biotech, logistics, or even law, the strategy might need to be a little more tailored. That can drive the cost up, especially if you're working with people who have experience in your space and need specific tools or messaging. Now, campaign scope and complexity is a big one. The more complex your campaign is, the more platforms you're on, the more content you need, the bigger the audience, the more time and planning it's gonna take. Something super simple and small scale will naturally cost less than a large campaign that runs across multiple channels and has a lot of moving parts. Different platforms means different prices. Running ads on Facebook might cost you anywhere from 26 cents to $5 depending on what you're paying for. Like clicks, impressions, downloads, it goes on. TikTok, on the other hand, can go from 1 cent up to $500 or more depending on your setup. And if you're trying to run a campaign across all the big ones, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and X, it's definitely gonna cost you more than just focusing on 1 or 2. Number 5, community management. If you're planning to keep up with your audience, like actually replying to comments, managing DMs, moderating discussions, that's a whole other job on its own. Community management costs will depend on who you hire. Agencies usually charge more than freelancers, and hiring someone in-house an investment too. Some businesses just want someone to post content, others want the whole thing. SEO for social, influencer collabs, paid ads, performance tracking, and, the works. So think about the type of services you want. Naturally, the more services you bundle in, the higher the price. Finally, think about who's better to work with. Are you hiring a freelancer, an agency, or building an in-house team? Freelancers can be more affordable. Agencies bring a team and a ton of experience, and in-house hires give you more control, but all of those come with very different costs. So let's talk about how much money you should be actually setting aside for your social media ads. According to Hootsuite, a good social media budget should be 8.7% of your company's annual revenue. However, most businesses typically allocate 5 to 40% 10% of their overall marketing budget to social media advertising. The amount you allocate will depend on your needs, goals, and desired returns from your campaigns. You'll also want to determine which platforms you want to advertise on, as that will play a big part in the total cost. Let's take a look at the major social media platforms and what some of their average costs are. First up, let's start with Instagram. You'll want to budget at least $500 a month to kick things off. Your cost per click usually ranges anywhere from $0 to $2 a click and $0 to $10 per 1,000 views. The main factors impacting your cost are goals, audience, and industry. Next up is YouTube. If you're running ads here, expect to spend anywhere from $100 to $1,000 and beyond per month, depending on your goals. Typically, you'll pay when someone views or clicks on your ad, so it's all about engagement. 3, now let's look at TikTok. The ad costs are pretty budget friendly. Depending on the type of ad you run, you may pay anywhere from a penny to about $10. Views can run you just a few cents, while clicks or impressions tend to cost a bit more. And if you're teaming up with a TikTok creator for a collab, that can cost anywhere from $5 to a couple grand. Totally depends on the creator and the campaign. 4, if you're looking at X, it can be all over the place. It really just depends on the type of ad you're running. Monthly spend can range from $100 up to $10,000. 5, if you're targeting professionals, LinkedIn ads are a great option. Prices usually start at around 26 cents per click or view, but can go over $10 depending on your goals and ad type, like video ads, carousel posts, or direct messages. 6, Facebook is much more flexible in that sense. You can run ads for as little as a few bucks a day or scale up to a few thousand a month. Costs usually stay under 30 cents per click or impression, but it really depends on your audience and campaign setup. 7, if you're on Snapchat, then ads start at $5 a day, but 20 to 50 bucks daily is the sweet spot for better performance. You can try fun formats like story ads or AR filters. 8, lastly, Pinterest campaigns. These typically start at around $500 a month, with individual ad costs between $0 and $2. You can run everything from video and carousel ads to shopping pins, and either set your bids or let Pinterest automate it for you. So now you're at that point where you're trying to figure out who to hire, an agency or someone within your company. If you're considering hiring in-house, then you'll want to look into how much hiring a social media manager will cost. According to Glassdoor, most social media managers can make anywhere between $41K and $62K per year. The good thing about having someone in-house is that they get to know your brand inside and out. They're part of your team, so you'll have access to them, and that means that they can keep things consistent across the board. You'll also get more control over what's being posted and how your brand is perceived on social. Plus, costs tend to be a bit more predictable for you. Now, let's consider an agency. On average, we're looking at anywhere from $1,500 up to $25,000 per month, which, yes, is a big range, but it depends on things like where the agency's based, how experienced they are, and what kinds of services they're offering you, and how complex your campaign actually is. Agencies tend to have a team of experts who stay up to date with the latest trends. They have access to tools and technology that most small businesses just don't, and can usually hit the ground running with strategy, content, and analytics just right away. The flip side to working with an agency is the cost. And since they're not part of your day-to-day team, it might take a little more time for them to understand your brand, voice, and tone. So there you have it. I hope this has given you a good frame of reference around what you should realistically be considering when putting together a social media marketing budget and direction you should take when hiring. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and share. Subscribe to our channel to learn even more tips on building your business.